we had the fire inside in the kitchen.
Would you, could you, should you? You are sitting downstairs and water starts to drip on your head from the ceiling. What do you do?
They tell them and clean it up. Or if it is water, then their mom and dad.
Yeah, you or dad?
Well, because we're right under the bathroom, just right above us, and there's one of the toilets that's leaking and comes down.
I think I know where this is
dripping. So we grab a bucket, put it there, under it, and grab some towels, go around it, and then you go to see mom or dad and ask them to help clean up the water that spilled up there.
Cheyenne.
So, what I would do first is alert mom and dad, and then immediately remove anything that would soak up the water. So, like couches, carpet, or anything that could get water damaged.
Okay.
And then I would probably see if I can find a bucket of some sort that didn't have holes in the bottom, because that'd just be pointless. And then put it underneath it, and then go grab in some towels and stuff and dry what I can dry.
I would grab a bucket and stand on the couch and wipe it with towels and ask Dad if he could fix it.
What do you think you would do, Darren?
Did the same thing as Savannah.
Good thing Savannah's there to tell you what to do.
Yeah.
So this has happened to us before. And unfortunately, some of the kids didn't realize what was going on. And they thought it would be really cool to catch the drips. That is not something you want to do.
Who did that?
We
Yes.
don't need to talk about it.
Get a bucket.
Who
And
did
put
it?
a bucket under it right away. And then let somebody know. And you're right, if there's furniture in the way, move the furniture. Don't let the furniture get soaked. Area rugs, you can move those too quickly. Just pull it up out of the way. Get buckets and let someone know what's going on.
Who did?
Mom or dad or another adult that's capable of figuring it out.
Maybe it was one of the older kids.
You're using a toaster or another small appliance and it starts sparking. What would you do?
I would unplug it, then get Dad or Mom or one of the other adults.
I would unplug it and go find probably dad or mom.
First, you unplug it, but you have to make sure you have to go slowly, because if you do it too fast, the electrical current may zap you.
What would you do?
Do the same thing as Lucas.
Okay. Dean.
I would get some water and dab it with a cloth and do it out.
We should never put water on electrical appliances because that can shock somebody and cause even more problems. The correct thing to do is to unplug it right away and let somebody else know what's going on if it's safe to do so. If it's not safe to unplug it, get somebody right away that can come and help. The smoke detector goes off in the middle of the night. What would you do, Lucas?
First off, if I hear it, and I'll check what's going on, and then if I see smoke, and if I even smell it, I'll go wake Mom and Dad up, and then go get the kids up, and slowly move everyone outside.
We done that before. We had the fire inside in the kitchen, and Justine called 911.
So Dean, what would you do?
I would probably do the same.
You wouldn't just like roll over and think smoke detector's going, someone else will figure it out?
No.
What would you do, Darren?
Put the fire out.
Nope, that's not a good thing. We have to get to safety first.
I would check what's going on, then wake you guys up, then I would let the parents get the kids out.
This actually happened, and you were the first one to hear the smoke detector. Do you want to tell us what happened?
So, middle of the night, power went on, power came back on. My alarm clock was going off at the same time as the smoke alarm. smoke detector went off. So when I shut off my alarm, I thought that might have been stopped the beeping, but it didn't. So I went into the hallway. And man, was there a lot of smoke. So I immediately raced downstairs. Mom was already up. So I immediately alerted her, and she asked me to wake up Dad.
What would be the right answer in this situation?
The right answer, if you hear the smoke alarm going off, is to get down low on the ground, especially if you see smoke. Your bedroom doors are closed, right?
Yes.
Then you feel the doors, usually with the back of your hand, like this here. Is it hot? No. Try the door handle. Is it hot? No. Open up the door slowly. If the house is full of smoke, do you think you should be running through the house?
No, crawl.
Because 1 or 2 breaths and you could collapse. You stay down low, you bang on everyone's door and get everybody down low and moving outside to the closest exit if it's available to you. And eventually get downstairs to where we are, because we sleep on a different level than you guys. That would be the correct thing to do. Do you put out the fire? No. You leave that for somebody who knows what they're doing. You don't put it out yourself.
But you put it out.
Yeah, in your pajamas.
I did.
Pajamas.
Did I used to be in the fire department?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have I put out fires before?
Yeah.
Yes. So did I know what I was doing?
Yes.
Yes. The
Yes.
fire department was on the way, and I knew what I was doing, and I handled everything that needed to be handled. Somebody's knocking at the door, and you look out the window and don't recognize them. What should you do?
Get Mom and Dad immediately.
I would ask them if you allowed on the property or not. Ask them if you are here for shopping or not. Ask them their name and then their mom and dad if I don't want to ask them.
I'll go first get Mom and Dad, and then, but if they're like looking out the windows to see if anyone's home, I have to crawl. Because it's crawl because I don't want them to see that there are people inside.
Okay.
So first I'd go by their clothing. So if they have, like, if it was like a police officer that I've never seen before, but he was dressed as a police officer, then I'd probably go immediately get Mom or Dad. But if it was just like this random hobo off the street, I'm like, lock the door, you're not coming in.
Yeah.
And then go get Mom and Dad after I make sure the door's locked.
I would not answer it. I would get Mom and Dad immediately.
I did the same thing as Diane.
So how do we know that it was a bad person? What if it was just somebody coming to talk to us?
Who would answer the door and
Well,
No, if it was-
how would you know if you should answer it?
You
by saying
could
secret
knock-
password? What's the secret password?
What should you do in this situation? Well, being our door is on the ground level, and we spend a good portion of our time, probably most of our time, on the second level, opening a window and saying, my mom and dad will be here in a moment, or caregiver, or somebody else that's more capable. And then just leave it at that. Come and get us. That's all you need to do. This is an advanced question to the one we just did on knocking on the door. What if somebody knocks on the door that you don't recognize, and they say to you, it's an emergency, I need to use your phone? What do you do?
Want the police to help the people.
You're going to phone the police for them? Okay, Savannah, what do you think you would do?
I would get Mom and Dad immediately and tell them that Mom and Dad will be there in a minute.
First, I'll see who they need to call, and then I'll go get Mom and Dad, and then they'll decide.
It's an emergency. They need to use your phone right away.
I would let them if they
You would invite them in the house and let them use the phone?
yes, if mom and dad was okay about that.
Oh, so you would check with Mom and Dad
Yeah.
first?
Get Mom and Dad first, then and to see who's there.
Okay, Cheyenne.
So I think if I was home alone and that happened, I would probably phone either one of our neighbors and let them know that this is happening, and like they should come check it out, kind of thing. And then if none of them were around, then I would just phone 911 and say, hey, there's this creepy dude knocking on my door.
It could be a really legitimate thing that they needed help.
I've seen some pretty creepy people before that have been super, super friendly. So really, you cannot judge people by their looks. And please don't do that. You know, there are very few people out there have ill intent. What would I do in this situation? What you should do in this situation is you could either, one, pass the phone out to them, because is our phone here portable or is it fixed to the wall?
Portable.
It's portable. Does it work out in the front yard?
No.
Yeah.
Yes, it does work in the front yard. So you could go get the phone, pass it out to them, and stand outside with them while they make the call. Or you can say, what is the emergency? I will make the call myself for you. Would you let them in the house? Definitely not.
I know that humans can be sometimes really bad at judging character, but animals have a way better sense. So if an animal immediately, say Sadie here, immediately hackles raised, teeth back, snarling, I probably shouldn't even go near them.
Okay, but sometimes the animals react to how you're feeling because they're trying to protect you. So that might not necessarily be your only clue.
So
But
what
it
if,
could.
It could be part of it, but they could also be feeling what you're feeling.
You walk into the bathroom. You really gotta go. And the toilet's plugged. What should you do?
Get Mom and Dad.
I would be unplugged it myself.
Do you know how to do that? Or
Yeah.
could you make it worse if you were trying to do it?
I know how to unplug toilets because we have our own unplugger upstairs that does it. Plunger. But also if it's like a big clog down deep, I wouldn't. I would go see Dad for him to do it because I don't want to make it worse.
That's the correct answer. Always get Dad if there's a toilet problem.
And then Dad can come to the rescue with a ginormous snake. So if it was a little plug that I could see that it just needed a little bit of extra force to get it all the way down, I'd unplug it. But if it was something that was way too big for the little toilet plunger to do it, go get Dad.
I will get Dad to unplug it, then use the downstairs bathroom.
Yes, there is one person who plugs it regularly. So if you think you can unplug it yourself with the plunger, you can try. But should you keep trying and trying and trying, or is there a chance you're going to make more of a mess? Don't ever keep flushing the toilet because it will overflow all over the bathroom floor. And then guess what it starts doing? Dripping from the ceiling down below. So we don't want to do that. Okay, let's try another question here. You accidentally spill orange juice all over the kitchen floor. To prevent someone from slipping, what could you do?
Just clean it.
You could clean it. Good answer. Savannah?
I would clean it.
So since our kitchen has a baby gate to help keep our the four-legged ones that can't jump the gate out, I'd probably close the gate, grab some of the towels that we keep in the kitchen and mop it all up. And then also use spray to make it not sticky.
I'll
Okay.
do the same thing, but first use spray and use paper towel to do most of it up, and then I'll grab the mop that's outside and mop the rest up.
I would get Dad, and because as I don't know how to mop the floor.
Okay.
I'll
Dean,
be mop the floor.
you know how to mop the floor?
And I forgot to add something. If you have cones, put it around the spilled area, or if you already have a slipping hazard sign, do that.
Yes, because we live in a mall. Or an office building.
Dad, we forgot to say, caution, slippery floor, and then all the cones.
Ah, okay.
He's practicing his work safe.
I think so. Okay, for our final question for this round. The cat knocks a glass onto the floor and it shatters.
Oh, I had that happen.
What should, would you do?
I should get Mom and Dad if there was a glass breaking.
I'll maybe put shoes on and clean up the ass.
Putting
That's-
shoes on's a good thing. That was very smart thought.
First, I would call for mom or dad or another sibling to stay where they are, and then ask them to pass me a broom for me to sweep it away from me while I'm just staying still. And then if there's enough room, enough space so I can do enough, I can walk past all the broken glass and put some shoes on or some Crocs and clean it all up with some gloves on.
Darren, what would you do?
I did the same thing as Luke.
I would put shoes on and cleaning it.
Okay, so I've actually had it happen in the middle of the night though. It wasn't a glass, but bowl, like one of our cereal bowls that a cat knocked over in the middle of the night, and it shattered. So what I did, since I shared a room with 2 others, I quietly got up, put on some shoes. I went into the kitchen, found the cat, took the cat out of that room, closed the gate, and then since it was the middle of the night and I didn't want to wake up mom and dad, plus I also didn't know how to clean up glass properly, I just picked it up with all my hands. But I didn't cut myself. And I put it all in the garbage. And then I told mom and dad about it in the morning.
Sounds like you're lucky you didn't cut yourself.
I was careful.
Yeah, really important. Make sure that you take care of your own safety first. So shoes are a good thing. Possibly gloves if you're not super careful, so you don't cut up your hands. A broom
I
and a
think
dustpan.
gloves, even if you think you're super careful. Because sometimes you think you're super careful and accidents happen.
Sounds good. Lorelai, how do we wrap up this video?
Please subscribe and please give a thumbs up.
Thanks for watching.
Thanks for watching, and please subscribe and give a thumbs up.
Bye.
Sadie, are you going to say goodbye?
Bye.